Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years, and I'm bursting. Stick around, I'll tell you why. Welcome, tarot fans, tarot maniacs. I've got huge news. So, not only do I have an amazing husband and amazing children and an excess of amazing pets, I've got all of you guys, and all of you guys got me to 1,000,000 views yesterday. It happened late last night. My channel lifetime has 1,000,000 views. It was a benchmark that I was trying to get to. I'm coming up on 10,000 subs. It's getting there, but the 1,000,000 views was a really big event for me. That means that you guys are watching, you're commenting, how views are counted. Like, you have to watch the whole thing. So I am chuffed to pieces that all of you guys have watched so much of my work. And, we've been through a lot together. We went through the pandemic together. We went through me leaving my corporate job and doing this full time. And I just want to say thanks. Couldn't do it without you guys. I'm going to cook up something special for you this weekend. I'll probably do a marathon on Saturday night. And we'll just stay on here and we'll do Tipsy Tarot and we'll celebrate together. So stay tuned for that. I am going to do a past life regression over the weekend. We're going to do, I was going to do members and then general audience live, but I think we're going to switch that around and we're going to make it a Tipsy Tarot marathon for you guys. So stay tuned. Past life regression is still happening. So we'll have some fun with that. I'm so excited. Let's talk about Trooping of the Color. Trooping of the Color is this weekend. Super exciting. There's going to be lots of events happening in the United Kingdom. I'm so jealous. I wish that I could be there. Let's bring up the card view and see what's going to go on. We're going to look at the royal family first, and then we're going to jump on over and look at that rival court, because that rival court is flailing away. They're not doing so well. So let's bring up the card. You hit that like button. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so excited. I'm one of those people that I can't take the happy off my face sometimes. So I'm really excited. I let all of my friends, I let the Hutches know, I let Trevor know. I let Dave Murphy, he's a fan favorite. I let Dave Murphy know. And I'm just beyond excited about this because it just means that bigger and better things are coming along. So yippee, cool stuff ahead. Let's talk about the Trooping of the Colors. So we're going to talk a little bit about like what's going to happen on the balcony, how that's going to look. Some fun facts first. The first recorded Trooping of the Color was in 1748, and it was under King George II, who had a November birthday but loved a good June parade. That's why it's become the monarch's unofficial birthday. So that's for people outside of the United Kingdom that aren't fully aware of why it is the unofficial birthday of the monarch. So let's talk about who is expected on the balcony. So, of course, we are expecting Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Catherine, and their children absolutely will be there. Princess Anne, I think she's going to be there. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh should be there as well. Are we going to see anybody else? What else is going to happen? Let's see what we can expect. So, is Prince George going to take more of a central role? Are we going to see grandfather, father, and son more prominently placed? So let's see what we're going to have there, showing that line of continuity. Dare I say more? So there was some kerfuffle when the late Queen Elizabeth had publicized a photo of her, then Prince of Wales, now King Charles, Prince William, and Prince George. There was some kerfuffle from the renegade royals. We're going to get there. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them, guys. But there was some kerfuffle about that portrait, that Harry had been left out of it. The other children were overlooked. But really, the line and the continuity is so vital and so important right now. And it really needs to be underscored and presented as such. The dilution of the line of succession really must stop now. And I think that there is a concerted, concentrated effort to make that happen. So, what will be the theme about the continuity of the line of succession right now? What will be the theme at the trooping of the color? Let's see what kind of message we're going to get from our royal family. The Hangman. So that is lessons learned from things of the past. Now, is this going to be because of Uncle David, the Duke of Windsor? Is this going to be because of Uncle Harry, the Duke of Wailing? What are we going to see? Four of Swords and the King of Cups. I think that the emotions that they are having privately about this situation with Harry and Meghan and all the drama that they keep stirring up, I think the emotions are going to be very clear. Not demonstrated, but very clear. I think we have already heard in the news that Prince William loathes Harry and detests Meghan. Those are quotes from Dan Wooten, which I believe he quoted from another source that's close to the palace. Loathes Harry and detests Meghan. Those are some really bold, big words. So I think that we are going to see actions that represent those emotions. We're not going to see the emotions out on display. They're not going to put crazy on the front porch like we do down here in South, but they are going to be behaving as such, which means that they're going to unplug. They are absolutely going to unplug from this. So there's a lot of talk about removing the HRH and all that nonsense. We're not going to talk about that in this one. That'll be a separate reading. So what will the public perception be during this trooping? What is the public going to see? And I would sell my eye teeth to go and be a part of this. I really would. If it is practical, I will try and go to the next coronation. What will the public perception be? Seven of Swords, right in the middle. And the Eight of Swords, patience under the surface, Wands. They're the Lovers. Okay, so they are going to see a united front that is being affronted by some individuals that they cannot get away from. Now, there was some reporting that I saw that was very favorable to Harry and Meghan. That was, well, this is, the difference between a royal family and a family. I disagree. I think if Harry has decided to leave the business of being in the royal family, he has also made a decision to excommunicate himself from his family. You can't have both. He can't be a non-working royal and then be a welcome guest in their house. Not with all the things that he said. That's just my opinion. And I do think that the public is going to see them as trapped by this caustic, toxic relationship with Harry, and that it's all a bit too much. It's a bridge too far. But patience, time, the continuity, and the stalwartness of the royal family will overcome. This says we are going to have a parting here. The royal family is going to see that divesting themselves of Harry is something that the public is totally fine with. Up here, the lovers coming together. This is the royal family, not Harry and his wayward bride. This is really the royal family coming together as a unified force. You have to think about it. The royal family would be the head of any altercation with another country, disagreement with borders or anything like that. We cannot have this family divided. It does not make any sense. So, will there be any surprises or notable absences that will change public opinion? Any surprises? Um, no. I think the efforts to kind of keep everything very even-handed in terms of exposure, but not necessarily the same elevation, if that makes sense. So I think we are going to see possibly Andrew, the York girls, but in a different capacity. I don't think that they're going to be on the main balcony. I certainly don't think the York girls will be. It'll get too crowded up there. But I think that they will have kind of their own balcony at a lower level, someplace else. I believe Harry and Meghan, it was at the Jubilee, I think, when she was her and Harry, don't tell anybody we're here to the little kids. I think perhaps that kind of a setup is going to take place. So we may see that. We may see some of the less important, I don't want to, really impugn all the other families, but I think we're going to see the less important families not on the balcony. So, do we see Princess Anne? I absolutely think so, but I actually think that she may give and say, well, I don't have to be on there, like I'm just a regular person. But Sophie and Edward, Prince Edward, and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, I do think that they're going to be on there. There's something about having that backup plan up there that is really important. And I know in terms of succession, it's not there, but this is a well-performing, client-facing, public-facing couple that is presenting extremely well, extremely likable. And I think that there may be some promotion of just the two of them, not their children, but just the two of them. As much as I love Lady Louise, I can never remember her brother's name. So, King Charles III is the oldest monarch to ever assume the British throne. He took over at the age of 73, and that's older than most people retire. Obviously, that is because his mother is was the longest reigning monarch. So, and I did take some heat about speculating about what the royal family would be like after King Charles had left. To be sure, that was a request, and I did follow that. So someone actually told me that I was committing treason, but I'm an American citizen. Is it still treason? Like, I'm not a British subject. To be sure, disclaimer, I have great reverence for the royal family. I do think that there are other cultures, the French culture, the Russian culture, that are very sorry that they eliminated their royal lines, because there is something about continuity, having leaders that are bred to lead. I know that sounds terrible, but bred to lead, bred to take over makes a lot of sense, because you can really create a leader that understands their position in history. We can see when you plug things in, like Wallace Simpson and Meghan Markle, doesn't really work. So let's do a little health check-in for King Charles. How is he doing energetically? The PR that's been released now is that King Charles will likely die with cancer, not of cancer, which is encouraging. So, not that we want him to be afflicted, but that it is not as critical as we initially thought. But how is he doing? How is he energetically holding up on these cancer treatments? Two of Cups, it is working. With the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a disappointing thing. I mean, I do think one does not want to say hospice, but one also does not want to say palliative care. But I do think that we are edging up to a palliative care kind of concept here. What can he do to protect himself energetically during this like massive, exciting event? When we have events like significant birthdays, jubilees, trooping of the color. When we have those things, what we want to do is make sure that we maintain our energy levels. My husband is very good at this. He always is a 5, according to him, in terms of energetics. I've told you guys the funny story about when we got our puppy, Raven, and he said he was at a 7.5, and I innocently asked, what were you when you kissed me for the first time? And it was like 5.2 or something like that. It's a little bit insulting. But what can the King Charles do to protect himself energetically during the excitement of Trooping of the Color? So rest and retreat, I do think is key here. And I am confident that his staff has provided times where he will recede into the background for a little bit of a rest, take some time. I think there's plenty of time that is allowed for him to sleep in the overnight and in the afternoons. There's something about a space of time either before lunch or before dinner or after dinner, or I'm sorry, there's either an after lunch break on certain days or a post dinner break when there are evening events that will go late into the evening. Those will be times where he retreats to personal quarters. Him and Camilla take a rest, do whatever they have to do, literally lay down and close their eyes, and then he can get back up with renewed strength. There is also going to be collaboration. Now, I mean, with the Ace of Wands, this doesn't really suggest collaboration in terms of the traditional canon reading of the tarot, but this Ace of Wands is almost a passing of the baton. So I do think that he's going to have William at his side for a great deal of it. Perhaps Catherine will be interchanging, and the Princess of Wales, Catherine, the Prince of Wales, William. I do think that he is going to be bringing some other players in. They are rock stars in the royal family, so I think he's going to be bringing them in. The main theme is that his staff and his family will allow him to recede periodically, close his eyes for 10 minutes or something about the micro nap, 5 minutes, close your eyes, you'll feel fine, so that he can come out refreshed and stronger and present as a very strong king. Remember, illusion with kings and monarchs is very important. Some monarchs always appeared in public on a horse if they were of a smaller stature, because it did raise them up above the commoners or their subjects. So it really having that illusion. The idea of keeping the illusion where King Charles is robust and strong and healthy, I think is very, very important. I do think that they are going to have some IV bags for him, not like the Diddy IV bags. Trust me, guys, like if you've never had an IV infusion just for some vitamins or anything like that, you don't know what you're doing. They are great. Greg and I went to an IV. It's like a drip bar, or they call them drip bars. And we went to one and had some vitamin infusions, and they were really, really fantastic. My acupuncturist, they have IV infusions there. You can get ones for health. You can get ones for cancer treatments. You can get a vitamin supplement. You get a hangover one, like all kinds of cool stuff. So I do think that there's going to be some kind of infusion that he will be getting throughout the day, or it will be readied for him in the event that he needs it. It will kind of spark you up. It's not like caffeine and B12 and all that, it is all kinds of good stuff. So I do think that this Trooping of the Color is going to show the king as very strong with a very strong succession behind him. I think that is going to be the main thing that we see. So, will the event lift national spirits, or will there be undertones of concern? Now, remember, the Queen's last Jubilee, she had very limited appearances during that. My former brother-in-law and sister-in-law were there, and they had a great time. My nephew was in the Queen's Guard at the time, and so they had a lot of VIP access, and they had a great time out there. So, is this going to lift national spirits? Are we going to see all of the celebratory whatnot? The Six of Pentacles and Judgment in reverse, Star, Moon. We have the Two of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. I do think that people are going to feel better about seeing the succession on display. I think that that is something that we can look forward to. So take heart, United Kingdom. Time and tide wait for no man. We were all very spoiled with the glorious long reign of Queen Elizabeth II. So unfortunately, again, time and tide wait for no man. So, oh boy. So let's talk a little bit about Harry and Meghan. So Harry and Meghan, Meghan had already had an engagement, an event booked, but it has now been canceled because LA is on fire and rioting. So it's my understanding that Karen Bass did call for a curfew last night. I'm recording this 2:30 in the afternoon on 6/11, June 11th. I'm a little bit late to this because I had physical therapy. But Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, did call for a curfew. So a lot of events are being canceled in Los Angeles. Apparently it was some women's leadership event. Shocking. So is the Sussex camp, and there was also a rumor that Harry was planning a watch party. Let's see. Is Harry actually planning a watch party? Is he actually planning that? Is he pining away for the fjords like a Norwegian blue? Tower. Tower is something that disrupts from the outside. This isn't something that he's going to do. What is going to disrupt from the outside? Seven of Pentacles, Four of Cups, Ace of Cups. Hang on. Oh, guys. I got to do a little. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Future cast. So you're going to hear it here first. I do think that Harry is going to reach out to extend some kind of sentiment to the royal family, and I think he is not getting an answer. I think they're completely going to blank him on this one. So if he says, oh, I'd like to be a part of the festivities, can we do a FaceTime? I think they are going to utterly ignore him. And I think this is even the support staff for the king and the royal family are not going to pay any attention to his reach to say, oh, I hope you have a great weekend. Hope it's going to be wonderful. Hope it's going to miss you on the balcony. Like he actually has a space there. So I do think that he is going to be upset probably by Friday afternoon. What is he going to do in response? That Page of Swords, sun will come out tomorrow. We are going to see some destructive words here. It is, it's historic for Harry to create these awful things that he has to say. And to come out with these terrible things. Oh, my father's not taking my calls right now. I don't even know how long he's got to live. He's going to say something really stupid. What is the result of this really stupid thing that he's going to say publicly? What is he going to drop? I think he might drop a video, guys. Is he going to drop a video? Is he going to say, "Oh, I've got well wishes for my father. He's not answering me." So, somebody put in the comments about Betty Davis, and then I did a little bit of research on Betty Davis. Betty Davis's daughter wrote a hit piece on her too. And she said, I wrote this hit piece because when I say things to my mother privately, she doesn't hear them. But if I say it publicly and I disrupt her PR, she's going to understand it. Shocking, right? So is Harry going to release a video wishing his father from his front doorstep a very happy tripping of the color? Is he going to do that? Holy smokes, guys. So future cast, he's gonna voice he is going to voice his departure from the royal family, I think, guys. I think this business about keeping the kids HRH to give them a choice to participate in the royal family, I think that is getting flushed down the drain. I think he is going to say something that is going to be very disruptive. There's going to be a video. I am saying it now. He is going to make a statement or a video. If he does the video, it's going to be from his front doorstep. So, holy moly. What is Meghan doing in the meantime? What is Meghan doing in the meantime? She's egging him on. She's egging him on to do this, guys. We have our own life. We have our own life here in California. We're just fine. We're just fine. We don't need them. We don't need them, but she does. She is urging him to cut ties with them now. That's what she's urging him to do. And I don't know how she thinks that is going to work. But time's up for them. Time's up for them. So this is a psychic war for the royal family. It is an absolute psychic war for them. What can the royal family do to deflect all of this? What can they do to deflect all of this? What is their best bet? Best practices? Not to do a thing. Zero response. In dog training, we do something with poorly behaved dogs, and it's called a zero response. When a dog jumps on someone, if you scream and you yell and you flap your hands, they think that you're just kind of getting in the game with them. So if you correct no and give them a command and give them a zero response, a more tempered response, a reactive dog, a dog that maybe, if you go to praise them, they jump up and they're wiggling all over the place. They will understand that communication a little bit better. You need to level the playing field for them. The walls are getting taller. The walls are getting higher around the royal family. And I will be energetically surrounding them with a great big brick golden wall to deflect the energy that's coming at them. But this is their best defense. Never complain, never explain is going to go a long way here. What else do they need to know? Get to work. Keep going on the work. Don't let this cloud the vision of the future. The future is bright, and focus on the things at hand. So I do think that this is a good reading for them, and good directives for them. So let me know what you think, guys. So drop a crown emoji if you support the monarchy's unity during the Trooping of the Color, and let me know, do you think Harry and Meghan's plan is going to fail? Do you think that they're going to try and do something? I've always said that I thought there was a contingency plan for Harry to come back, but it looks like he is really screwing the pooch on that one, right, Greg? What? So, guys, don't forget, We're going to do the past life regression this weekend. So I'm going to have you guys, I will be dropping the link for that in my community post and in the future videos for the rest of the weekend. So that is just a guided meditation where you guys are going to go visit a past life, and then we have a chat about it after. It'll be a really, really fun time. But we're also going to have a celebration for the 1 million views on my channel. I cannot wait to celebrate with you guys. It is because of viewers like you that this channel is growing and thriving, and my personal business is growing and thriving. And I'm just so excited to have all of you as a part of this. So many of you have become friends. Wife of a grumpy Marine, my girlfriend Debbie Schoen, who I owe a phone call right now. Dave Murphy, I'm looking at you. Zephyr Canine, and of course Trevor Cole, the Hutches, all these great people. You guys have really, really, really done me solid. My girlfriend Alicia Wicker, who encouraged me to start this channel. I just wouldn't be here without all of you. So thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.